I just stopped by the library, got a couple of books, two more books. I'll tell you about them in a minute. I know yesterday I talked a lot about using my old camera gear and not needing to have all new camera gear to necessarily do the job. Some of it might make it better, some of it might make it easier, but it's not a requirement. And I'm not going to take that back. I still believe that. I didn't go out today and use a charge card and buy a whole bunch of new cameras. But I really did get excited today using my iPhone. I think the iPhone and its capabilities, the things it's going to allow us to do, not necessarily allow us to do, but I think we've been allowed to do these things before, but the technology hasn't been there. I think the technology has finally arrived where we will be able to do things that we have not been able to do before. Let me see if I can find a picture that I was working on here. It's pretty good. We'll take a look at that. The technology before required a certain amount of expertise in how optics work, and what depth of field is all about. Capability of the iPhone with a couple of extra lenses, working on doing some lighting things. We talked about some of that, I think, 2 days ago with the small lights that I carry around. It's going to be capable of doing that sort of thing very soon with the cameras that you carry that are digital cameras, mainly with the mirrorless stuff. With LIDAR in the new phones, being able to measure the distance from the camera to the subject and embedding that information inside the image file makes it easier to extract that information later to do the computational photography that you get in the iPhone. I think that's what's going to be happening in the new mirrorless technology as it comes along. It's really going to be interesting. With all the stories I've read recently about Nikon having its trouble with digital SLRs and having moved slowly into the mirrorless field and some of the technological problems that they've had, I think that Nikon, if they're really smart, might want to wait just a little bit to introduce the technology, even if it's in its infant stages, to be able to manipulate focus by using some sort of LIDAR type technology in the digital files. Don't know exactly how that could happen. Apple has been able to do it with their technology. Why can't that LIDAR technology be built into some of the newer SLRs that are coming out, into some of the newer mirrorless cameras to measure the distance from camera to subject to allow more manipulation after the fact? Even if it's difficult to do, I am convinced that if Photoshop and Lightroom and a number of these other programs like Luminar can start adding in clouds and changing backgrounds, there's no reason in the world why this technology can't be used to allow us to use existing lenses to be able to manipulate depth of field and background focus. As a matter of fact, I think part of the problem, and one of the reasons that it may not be happening, is that the camera manufacturers and lens manufacturers are selling a lot of lenses that are fast lenses, 1.4, 0.95, 1.2, 1.0, 2.8s and 2s. That's a huge market to sell lenses to existing camera owners that modify the ability to be able to do narrow depth of field. Why would they have to do that if in the technology of the camera, I can now manipulate that depth of field through technology? As a matter of fact, why not have an f4 as the primary lens and shoot that all the time and then be able to manipulate that depth of field through some sort of computational photography? That may be the hang-up. Imagine the lens manufacturers not having a market for faster lenses. Actually, it would be pretty rough on the lens manufacturers. It'd be great for us as photographers, but it'd be terrible for the lens manufacturers. Though maybe don't look for this to happen anytime in the future. Maybe that's why I'm really going to enjoy my iPhone with the new technology. And then enjoy the iPhone with new technology. Enjoy my little, where are they? Where did I put them? Oh, there they are. My Moment lenses. And the books I got at the library, they're all about, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, they're all about cinematography. I really suck at that. I am a stills guy. I really don't do a great job with moving pictures, with video. I got a lot to learn. I really like to shoot the way I shoot stills. I like maneuvering. I like moving around. And it's hard to translate that into the video to do cinematography style to be able to do the storytelling. I need to figure out a way to make that transition from my shooting style, the old new shooting style, where you're always moving trying to find the better angle, to being able to do video in a more cinematography style. This is going to be interesting. I got a lot to learn. I got a lot to figure out. I don't know. This is really difficult, but I'm going to work on it. I got 2 new books from the library. I got more books at home. I've been using a website called Thrift Books. Really nice. I like half-price books. They got some really good books there, but they have a $4 shipping fee on almost everything. Thrift Books charges no shipping. Typically, you get the book, and that's it. No shipping fee. And it may take a little longer because it comes at the 4th class rate or 5th class rate or book class rate or slowest rate or Pony Express rate, whatever that is. But I don't mind that. I don't mind waiting a couple of days. I've waited all this time to become a better cinematographer. I can wait 2 or 3 days to do that. I'm going to go back to the farm. They're continuing to make repairs on the corn picker. It's got a couple of other minor problems. Hopefully they'll get that done today. Don't know if they'll do any picking or not, but the weather is great. A little bit of wind. My flying app says, no, you can't fly the drone, so I wasn't able to do that. I've got about 30 mile an hour wind gust, 30 knot wind gust. Not a good flying weather. I can fly, but may never get the drone back, so I'd rather not fly and keep the drone. I'm going to go back again. Like I said, I'm going to go back and look and see what they're doing. I've already shot some pictures that I'm sure will be my final photo. Had a pair of really greasy hands. I love greasy hands. I have a whole collection of greasy hands pictures. Maybe I'll link to them down below. Anyway, I want you to do the YouTube things. I want you to subscribe and like, thumbs up, give me comments and share. Tell your friends all about it. Keep this going. And I promise I'll be back in a minute. It's true. I'm done.